Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay. So this is your mail.
Yeah.
Leap year filter. Then fill some array. Okay. So 3 examples.
Yeah.
This is the example of filter.
Hmm.
So here what you are doing, just a minute. This is the script tag and this is the part of the script tag.
Yeah.
So it should go inside the script tag like this.
Okay.
Then it will look like this is nested inside the script tag.
Yeah. Okay.
Otherwise, there is no other effect on its performance. So this is an array of years. This is the set of original years, then function leap year. And here, what you have written, this one. If the year is century, percentage 4, percentage 400, okay, true. Leap year is equal to filter leap year. So I think it should run.
Yeah. Working.
So the first program is this one. Yes, it is working.
Yeah.
Now the next one, prime every array. Okay. Means you are just checking if every number is prime number or not.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, this alignment problem. This is our array numbers, and it is containing some prime and some
Yeah.
non-prime numbers. So it will display that there are some non-prime numbers. There are some non-prime numbers. Okay. And the last one is this fail sum array.
Hmm.
So it will check whether there are some fail students or not. Just a minute.
Yeah.
हेलो हेलो हाँ तरुण क्या हाल है बोले हैं कि वहीं पे हो अभी तो हम सुनो क्लास के बाद कॉल करते हैं थोड़ा क्लास में भी है हम आधे घंटे बाद करते हैं कॉल 1 घंटे के बाद ठीक है ना ठीक ओके so this is our function
Yeah.
and function name is fail if m is less than 40 then return true otherwise false yes I think these functions are now clear to you how to use
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Here are some functions. There are some students who failed. Okay. Now similar to this, only 1 or 2 more functions are there. Let me just open that file. So here, is April 25th, and it will be point number. There is no point. Okay. April 25th. Another function is map. There is a method whose name is map method. This is also interesting. It is used to perform a common set of operations on every element of the array. Then it returns the new array having changed values. Okay. So its syntax is very simple. The new array equal to old array dot map and then function name.
Okay.
Just like this. Okay. And in
Yeah.
this function, we have to just think which type of operation we want to perform on every element. For example, suppose we are having a function like this, the function do square. Suppose we just want to square every element of the array. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And suppose in the argument name is e, means this e is a variable which will
Yeah.
contain the current element of the array.
Hmm.
So here we can do very simple like this. Suppose we are having s for a square, then s equal to e multiplied by e, and simply we have to return s from here. That's all. Now after this, if we are having an array of numbers equal to suppose some numbers are there, 2 is there, 3 is there, 1 is there, and 5 is there. And then now if I'm writing where squares equal to numbers because the array name was numbers
Yeah.
dot map and then do a square like this.
Okay.
What it will do, it will simply make a square of all these numbers and then return the new array. Let me just copy this code not from here to file, new file, control S, map.html, L5. Map method. And here we will paste that content. Okay. Now for this, for checking whether it is working or not, what we can do, we can write a document dot write and then JSON dot stringify and then squares. Actually, nowadays we don't need to use this JSON.stringify. Directly we can write the name of the array. Okay, it will also display
Okay.
the elements of the array, but slightly the format is different. For example, first of all, suppose we are using this one. Okay. Now here yes, it is squares. So it is displaying 4, 9, 1, and 25.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's do one thing. Suppose this function is not here. It will also display the elements of the array, but slightly this format should be changed. It is only, it is not using displaying this square bracket. That's all.
Yeah. Okay.
Because now this JavaScript is more clever than the previous one.
Okay.
Means automatically it is identifying whether this is a variable or whether this is an array or whether this is an object, and accordingly it is displaying it. Okay.
Okay.
So that using that stringify function is not necessary.
Okay.
Then just see up to this point, every time we are using a method like this map method or this filter method or this sum method.
Yeah.
So every time what is happening, this callback function, okay, it is, its first argument is the current element every time.
Okay.
Its first argument is every time the current element. Here, this is the element value, and then the element index. Means at a time, we can work on a single element of the array.
Yeah.
At a time, we can work on the single element.
Hmm.
Suppose we just want to work on two consecutive elements of the array. Means the
Okay.
first and second, then second and third, third and fourth, fourth and fifth, something like that.
Hmm.
So for that purpose, there is another method that is known as a reduce method. That is also interesting. So point number 6, its name is reduce method. It is used to do operation on two consecutive elements of the array. Okay.
Okay.
Then it is called with a callback function. Then that callback function will be called will be called with two arguments. The first argument is the previous element, and second argument is the current element. It is like this. Then the value returned from this method is assigned to the current element. So naturally, if array is having n elements, then the callback function will be called n minus 1 times only. You understand this?
Yeah.
Means it will be called one time less. Okay.
Yeah.
Because at one time we are passing it is passing two arguments. So
Okay.
for the first time, the element number first element and second element will be passed.
Hmm.
Then second and third, then third and fourth, then fourth and fifth. So the
Hmm.
last time, second last and the last element. No, this is the way. So let me just give an example to you.
Okay.
Then you will understand it, how it is doing. Suppose
Hmm.
let us save this file with different name. Its name should be reduce. Change the title also. Reduce method. Okay.
Okay.
And now suppose Its name is do subtraction. Since we are going to subtract,
Hmm.
and here we are having two arguments. Previous, suppose its name is pre and its name is curve. Its name can be anything, x, y, z, anything.
Yeah.
So for the first time this pre, it will contain the first element and it will contain the second element.
Second. Yeah.
Okay. Now, suppose we are having a variable for storing the difference. So here we can write difference equal to suppose previous minus current. Means it will subtract the value of current from the previous. Okay.
Hmm.
And then it is returning the difference. Now here, suppose we are having uh, an array like this,
Hmm.
200, then 100, and then 50. And then now it will return it will not return an array, it will return some value. So suppose the result is equal to number dot reduce and then do subtraction. And here now we will display the result like this. Okay. So let's see how it will work. When we are calling this method, reduce method, for this array numbers, then it will first of all call this method, this
Yeah.
function,
Yeah.
and for the first time this pre, it will contain 200 and it will contain 100.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here what we are doing, we are just finding the difference between this and this. So 200 minus 100,
Is 100.
100. Okay. So it will return 100. No, let us take it some different value. Then it will become much more clear. Suppose it is 50 and it
Okay.
is 10. Now what will happen? This is 200 and
Yeah.
this is 50. Okay.
Yeah.
So 200 minus 50,
150.
150. So this 150, it will be assigned to this element, current element.
Okay.
Okay. So after first iteration, actually here we are having three elements. So there will
Yeah.
be only two iterations. So
Hmm.
after first iteration, this element, this 50, it will become equal to 150.
Okay.
Now in the second iteration, this is 150
Yeah.
and this is 10. So this is
Yeah.
150 and this is 10. So
Yeah.
150 minus 10, that is 140.
140. Yeah.
Finally, this 140 will be assigned to this cell.
Hmm.
So what we will get? We will get ultimately 200 minus 50 minus 10,
Hmm.
something like this. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because the final value will be what? It will be 140,
Yeah.
and 140 is what? It is 200 minus 50 minus 10. That's why
Yeah.
its name is reduce.
Okay.
But it is not that it will always reduce. It all depends upon here what we are writing.
Yeah. Okay.
If you are writing plus symbol here, then it will not reduce.
Okay.
It will keep increasing. Okay.
Hmm.
So here our program name is reduce.testing. It is 140.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let us use um, this plus symbol here. Now what will happen? So first of all, it is 200 plus 50.
Yeah. So
So
250.
250. So for after first iteration, it will be 250.
Yeah.
And then after second iteration, it will be 250
260.
plus 10. That is
260.
260. That is the sum.
Yeah.
260.
Okay.
So the trick is that this is the trick means what we are doing we are using this method, this reduce method. In
Hmm.
one go we can calculate the sum of all elements or the difference of all the
Okay.
elements, something
Yeah.
like that. So
Hmm.
from that point of view, this is very interesting. And
Okay.
actually there is another method also, but that is not needed here, and that its name is reduce right. Okay,
Okay.
because it is moving from left right. That's why its name is reduce. And another one is the reduce right, means from right to left.
Okay.
That method is also there. It is 7. Let me just write it. Its name is reduce right. Okay. So it is very similar to the reduce method with only difference that the callback function will be called from the
Right.
last, yes, element to the first element of the array.
Okay.
This is the only difference.
Hmm.
Okay. Otherwise, everything is same.
Okay.
So now what we will do, I think we have learned so many methods of related to this array.
Yeah.
So from the next class, we will change the topic. Now,
Okay.
at this point, what we should do, actually up to this point, every program, we are not taking the input from the user in any program.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because in any program, what we are doing, we are just defining the array,
Yeah.
then we are calling the function, then we
Hmm.
are displaying the result.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is not so much interactive.
Yeah.
So there must be a program, okay, where there should be a form, a small form, and using that form should contain a text box. Then there should be a submit button or something else, or a button for adding that element to the array. And then at the runtime, those elements should be added to the array, something like
Yeah.
this. Okay, and then we can provide a menu for doing all these operations or for testing all these functions like that. So let me first of all create a file for that, because there must be some user interface in the program. Then we can understand how in the real life it is working. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is our file reduce. Let us save this file with a different name. Suppose its name is array operations. No, it is already there, array operations.
Hmm.
Array form. There is a form which will deal with the array. That's why its name is array form. And here, so its name is array methods. Since in the single program we will implement all the methods just for testing
Okay.
purpose. So let us first of all remove this code from here and let us design a form, a small form. So for that purpose we can use the form type.
Yeah.
Then inside the form type we can use the field set, and then here we can write the design. Here we can write array operations. Then suppose there should be a single text box. Okay,
Yeah.
and in that text box the user has to write some number,
Hmm.
and then there will be a button initially, and that button will do what? It will simply add all the elements to a particular array, and then it will display that array on the screen.
Yeah.
So here we can write label, and suppose it is number. This number is the id of the next element. This number name, then one br is there, and then here input Suppose actually we have to take only the number, input the number. So let us fix its size type to number. Then its name is also number and its ID is also number.
Hmm.
Then one more here, and here initially what we will do, we will simply provide a button, add button. So
Okay.
again input this one, type equal to button,
Yeah.
and here some message add. And it will add and then it will display, add and display something like this. So at this moment how it will look like. Okay, so this is a number
Hmm.
and then this add button is there. Now
Yeah.
what we want to do is, suppose if someone is writing some number here and then clicking on this add button, then that number should be displayed here and it will keep growing, something like this. Let us put one more BR also. So for displaying all the numbers after the from tag, we will create a div tag. We can also create a p tag, anything. Do you remember the p tag? That is the paragraph tag. P for paragraph.
Yeah.
Okay. So p tag is there,
Hmm.
and here we can set its ID. ID equal to. And then suppose here what we are going to do, we are just going to display the numbers. So suppose its ID is display area. And in this area, we will display all the numbers. Now here we will use a simple event that is on click. I think we have already discussed this event
Yeah.
initially in some programs. Later we will learn all the events in more details, but this is the most common one,
Okay.
this on click. Okay. So here what we will do, we will simply pass the number to the function, and that function will do what? It will add that number to the array and then display that array elements in this area, this display area.
Hmm.
So here we can write, let- suppose there is a function whose name is display number. We are calling this function display number, and
Yeah.
here we have to pass the value of this variable. So there should be a name for this form. Suppose its name is array form. This is the name of our form, array form.
Hmm.
So this document, it is containing a form whose name is array form. Then this form, it is containing a variable whose name is number. Okay.
Hmm.
And now what we want to do, we just want to pass the value of this number to this function. So there are different ways that we have already discussed, but the simplest way is this. We can write like this: document dot array form dot number dot value. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
This document is our page.
Hmm.
Array form is the form, this our current form.
Yeah.
Then this number, this is the variable,
Hmm.
and we are passing the value of that variable. Otherwise, in the simple way, we can also write this dot form dot number dot value.
Yeah.
So in that case, there is no need to write a name here because
Okay.
this means the current form. Okay,
Yeah.
but this is more explicit. Here it is, everything is clear. Okay, this is the form inside our current document, and then this form is containing a variable whose name is number, and we are passing the value of that variable to this function. Now
Hmm.
this function, we will define the function here. Function, and the function name is display number. Let's see, display area is the ID. Display area is the ID. Okay,
Yeah.
and display number is the function. So
Okay.
here we are capturing that number. Suppose it is num here.
Hmm.
Okay. Now what we should do? First of all, we should define an array. Okay. Suppose that array is outside the this function, means where numbers equal to array. That means this is external array. Means it is available to everywhere inside this function also. Okay. Now here what we will do, we will simply push this number inside this array. So here we can write numbers dot push and then num. Okay.
Okay.
This number becomes the part of this array.
Hmm.
And after this, now we can display all the numbers here. So if you want to display in the same line, then it is very simple. Okay. First of all, we have to write where display area equal to document dot get element the ID and then area. There is a difference. This display area. This is the ID of this p tag, and this
Yeah.
display area. This is the variable of JavaScript.
Okay.
Although the name is same.
Hmm.
And now here what we can do, here we can write display area dot inner HTML equal to and then JSON dot stringify and then numbers. Let me check it whether it is working or not. Okay, so this is our form. Now further we can check if it is empty, then that function should not be called or something like this. So suppose we are entering here 2.
Yeah.
So this 2 is here.
Hmm.
Now if I am entering here 4, 2 and 4 is here. Since it is carrying the previous value, do you understand?
Yeah.
It is carrying the previous value. This is important. Means it is increasing. So it is due to this number array. It has been. This is the global array actually. This is the global array.
Hmm.
Is accessible inside every function. Since it is also available inside this function, this display number function.
Yeah.
So here what we are doing, the element, we are capturing the element in this variable, then we are pushing that element at the end of this array. Okay, and then we are fetching this element, means the element where we want to display the array elements. Okay,
Yeah.
and this inner HTML, this is the content that should be written here, means opening and closing of the element whose ID is display area.
Hmm.
And this JSON.stringify, it is doing what? It is simply returning a string. Okay,
Yeah.
and that string is containing all the elements of this array.
Hmm.
So simply what we are doing, we are simply displaying this one. Okay, now
Yeah.
here for testing purpose, just let me start from here. Where is your file? Because we have written so many functions. Okay, this was for the selection sorting, and before sorting there were some other functions also, I think. Reverse was there, okay, for example.
Hmm.
Then yes, post function was, we have already used it. Then
Yeah.
pop is there and shift is there, shift is there. So what I want, I just want that form. Okay, that form should be some option. That form should have some option. Okay, and after clicking on that option, we should be able to call these functions. This post function, this pop function, this unshift function, this shift function, something like this. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So it will. So in a single program, what we will do, we will test all the functions like this. Okay. Yeah. So at this moment, we are having only one button. Now
Yeah.
we can provide different buttons here in the
Hmm.
simplest case. Okay, here we can in the one line or in multiple lines we can provide, because this add, it is doing what? It is adding the element uh, at
And
the
yeah.
end of the. Suppose we want to add to the beginning of the array, then we can
Yeah.
provide a different function, different button here. Okay, add to beginning.
Hmm.
Its name can be add to last, add to end, then add to
Yeah.
beginning, then delete from the beginning, something like this. So here, let me just give an example to you. This button, suppose its name is add to last. Since it is adding element to the last of the array. Okay.
Yeah.
Now the thing is that now this button, actually it should not call this display. It should call some other method. Okay. And in that method, what we will do, we will call this push method. And after calling that push method, we will call this display number. Means display number method, it will only be responsible for displaying the. So let us, otherwise what we can do, we can give its name something like this, okay, add to last. Then it will become meaningful, add to last. Okay. Here also add to last.
Hmm.
Now let us put one more button there. After one BR. There is only one BR everywhere. Only two BR should be here. Now this part. Add to start. Not it should be beginning. No, it should be. Suppose its name is add to beginning.
Hmm.
Okay. Now here what we will do, we will define another function. Okay.
Hmm.
And then we will change the name of the function. It will be add to beginning.
Yeah.
And for that purpose, we are having unshift method.
Yeah.
Unshift method is there. And the same thing, it will remain the same.
Hmm.
So just see. Okay. Here we write a method, a number. Suppose 2
Yeah.
is there. Now this is add to last. And suppose if I'm again changing this number. Suppose now it is 22. Add to last. Now suppose it is 11. Add to beginning. Do you see? Now this is added to the beginning.
Yeah.
45. Add to beginning. Okay. And there must be some check. If it is empty,
Hmm.
then it should not be added here. For example, at this moment, this empty is also added.
Okay.
So this blank should not be added. Okay.
Okay.
So here we should check while calling this function.
Hmm.
If the value of this num is blank, then this
Hmm.
push method should not be called. Likewise, here this num is blank, then this unshift method should
It's
not be
okay.
called. Okay. So here we
Okay.
can write like this. If num is equal to, no, if num is not equal to blank, then and only then it should be called.
Hmm.
This condition should be everywhere, like this. Now again let us refresh this page. Suppose it is containing 6, then beginning. Now 7, beginning. Okay, and now suppose it is blank, no effect,
Yeah.
and we cannot write a text here. It will not allow because its type is number.
Yeah.
Now suppose it is 45 and then last. So 45 is like the last. Then suppose it is 42 beginning. So 42 is beginning. You understand?
Yeah.
So what you need to do, you need to just add this type of buttons
Okay.
for every methods that methods. But sometimes in case of, for example, in case of sorting and in case of sorting, it is
Yeah.
okay. But in case of searching, for, we just need to take one more argument from the user. Which element the user want to search?
Yeah.
For example, this is our array. Okay,
Yeah.
and we just want to uh, make a search button here. Search a number or simply search. So when the user will click on that search button, then what should happen? It should first of all ask a number. Okay, which number you want to search. Okay,
Hmm.
and after that, it should call the function,
Okay.
something like that. Then it will become more useful. But suppose we are making a button for the sorting. So in case of sorting, there is no need for any input.
Yeah.
You will just click on the sort button and then it will sort the elements. Okay,
Hmm.
but in there are some methods in which case we need some input from the user also. So
Yeah.
for searching method, I think we are already having this index of and last index of method. There must index of, yes. Method will search for the elements in an array and then it will return the position of the appearance of that element in the array. If element is not found, then it will return a negative value.
Hmm.
So it will display a message found or not found, something like this. Okay. So we need to also define an area for the result. So here we can define a different p tag, and suppose the name of this p tag is result. Means here we will display the result of the operation.
Okay.
If it is whether it is true or false, found, not found, something like this. Okay. Now here, suppose we are having another button for searching purpose. So here we have to write search,
Hmm.
and on click equal to, first of all what we will do, we will write like this. So our function name is search. Then here we will take input prompt. There is a function with name prompt.
Yeah.
So the return value of that prompt function, it should be passed to, here we should write like this. The prompt and then enter a number to search. Let's see how it is appearing. This is search.
Hmm.
No, it is not calling that method. Okay, because this search is not defined at this moment. That's why.
Hmm.
So function search, and suppose it is containing E for element.
Hmm.
Yes. Now it is asking for search. Now suppose I am writing 5 3. Okay. Now at this moment it will uh, nothing. It will do nothing. But
Yeah.
what we are doing, okay, we are passing this value, this prompt value in the search method. Okay, and it is
Yeah.
here E. Here we will write if, and then method index of. So our array name is numbers,
Yeah.
numbers dot index of, and then E. Okay. If it is available, then we will display that. kit is available, and if it will return the negative value, that means this is not available. So here we can write a document dot get element by id, and then id is result dot inner html equal to found, else same statement, but it will be displayed
Not found.
if it is greater than or equal to 0 in that case, and if it is not greater than equal to 0, then it will be not found. Okay,
Hmm.
so let us refresh this. Now click on this search method. 3 not found because this array is not here. Now suppose we are having an array. 3 is there, 31 is there, suppose 33 is also there. Okay, now we are searching for 3 here, so it is displaying found. Do you see this?
Yeah.
Because this 3 is available in this array.
Hmm.
So there are some methods in which you need to take input from the user. So this is the example for that,
Okay.
and this is the example for the simple one. So what you need to do, you need to just define different buttons of this
Okay.
type for most of the methods that we have discussed so far. So in the, and this program is already there, how to use this. Okay, then this program will become a real life program. So we will take input from the user, and then we are doing the operation, and then we are displaying the result. It is something like this.
Okay.
So I'm sending this file, this array form. Okay, and you need to continue with this with the code of this file, arrayform.html. You
Okay.
just need to define more input buttons here, and then corresponding these functions.
Got it. Okay.
And you have to make use of this all the functions that we have discussed. Means this, for example, this for each method is there. Okay, every method is there, like
Yeah.
this filter method is there, something like this. So you can just take some example.
Okay.
Sorting is there, searching is there. Then this pop was there, shift was there, unshift was there. So different possibilities are there. So accordingly, you can just practice on this. Then from tomorrow we will start a new topic.
Okay.
Okay. So let me send the files. So here, this one, reduce and map these files. Why it is not going there? Have you received them?
Yeah.
Okay. So we will meet tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.